This is the Hypothetically Sound podcast,
hosted by Alec, Randy, and Xavier,
where we take a hypothetical look at the world around us,
exploring the what ifs, maybes, and how comes.
Join in on the unfiltered, raw, and real conversations
as we explore the world around us. Welcome back to Hypothetically Sound. Hope you guys are having a good day. Thank you for tuning in today. Today's gonna be a fun one. So we've talked about aliens in the past, what we think they look like, could we survive an invasion, all these things. But yesterday, Alec, I don't know if you saw, it was kind of all over the place. The United States government held a meeting on UAPs, Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, also known as UFOs, and they had three whistleblowers who, for all intents and purposes, said aliens exist. We have captured them, non-human biologicals.
Yeah, man. Kind of interesting. Taking it at face value, it's just super interesting, super neat. I feel like a lot of people already knew this, but it's nice to have a confirmation on top of it.
Before we get into some of the quotes from the hearing and talking about it, I just want to get your take, and to go along with my take, I don't for a second believe that, one, we have captured any alien UFOs or UAPs or life forms of other aliens or other beings. I honestly don't think it is a possibility. I think there's zero chance that a alien race, alien species, sophisticated and technologically advanced enough to travel into our solar system, bypass every detection that we have in the outer space, because to assume that we have zero it's wild, and to travel at light speed and then be detected bobbing above the ocean, that's just a wild notion to me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I agree. Chances are it's just kind of one of those things where it's a distraction, I guess, like conspiracy theories out there where it's like kind of a distraction. Chances are, like, if we do have anything space related, it's not bodies.
Yeah,
right. Maybe they have proof of UFOs, but I don't think they have captured any like physical body or anything like that.
And that's the thing, like, you can make the argument that they somehow crashed because they hadn't been in our atmosphere before. So yeah, their first time here, you can make the argument that something in our atmosphere, something in our weather that they couldn't predict made them crash, and we have their spaceship. I can understand that argument, but to say that we have life forms, I don't see it as a possibility.
Yeah, do make it sound like they just out there with like birdshot shooting them down in the sky like they ducks.
Right. And so they had a pretty long hearing on this. The main guy of this hearing, it was former Air Force Intelligence Officer David Grusch, and Democrats and Republicans got to ask some questions, including AOC and other high-profile Democrats and Republicans. And so, yeah, I'm just going to read off some of the questions they asked and his responses, and we'll just talk about it and see what you think.
Okay.
So, one of the questions that Rep. Robert Garcia, a Democrat from California, asked the intelligence officer was, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs? And he answered with, absolutely. Based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 40 years, I know the exact locations.
My question is that he only interviewed 40 people in 40 years. That's one a year. That's a hell of a job.
Years, 40.
I was about to say that's one a hell of a job, bro. Like,
it's only 10 people a year. And that's the thing. If they had UAPs, 40 people ain't known about it.
Yeah,
that he would have the ability to contact and talk to about. Not a chance.
Yeah, I feel like
people would be willing to talk about it.
Yeah, I feel like it's maybe he's just really good salesman and can just get people to talk. You know, some people got that aura where others just want to tell him everything, you know.
One thing I do have to make sure I stay for everybody, especially when he talks about seeing. They ask him about seeing things, he has not seen a single thing. Everything that he is telling us, he has gotten from interviews with other people who have reportedly seen these things. There are 2 pilots that are with him, the other 2 whistleblowers that are the pilots in some of the videos that were released recently. And so they've seen these UAPs, but the main whistleblower, David Grusch, has not personally seen anything. He hasn't seen these biologicals.
How can you really be a whistleblower if you ain't blowing nothing? You know what I'm saying? Other than the fucking hot air.
Like, yeah, at this point, he just like, and he's an intelligence officer, so it makes sense that he would have information. But like, he does, like, if you're taking this and you're looking at it in depthly and trying to break it down, he comes across a little bit as a glorified journalist. Or book writer. Like, people told him their story, and now he's out here anonymously giving their views. Republican Tim Burchett from Tennessee asks, has anyone been murdered to cover up for extraterrestrial technology? David Grusch answered with, I directed people with that knowledge to the appropriate authority.
Yeah, that's So my issue with this is that he's kind of deflecting. Like, his first 2 answers are kind of like deflections of the answer, because he can definitely just say that he's heard rumors, or I can't fully confirm the accusations, but there is talks of it, which would do the same thing. But he's like hard deflecting on that one by saying, like, people with that information, I moved to the proper authorities. Like, dog, you is the proper authority. Like, I know, like, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as an intelligence officer who's in the know, apparently, with UAPs, yeah, you would think he would be, or he would be in direct communication with the proper.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, right? Like, he is the authorities. That's like a cop coming up to you for speeding and be like, all right, well, I'm going to go get my partner to ticket you because I don't have the authority to. Like, hold on.
One of the other guys that I was talking about is former Navy fighter pilot Ryan Graves. He details his sightings of UAPs and UFOs as a black cube inside of a clear sphere, 5 to 15 feet in diameter. He said that these encounters became so frequent that air crew would discuss the risk of UAPs as part of their regular pre-flight briefs.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. That sounds accurate. Sounds like something that would be in a briefing if, like, it happened a lot. Or we also, like, I've never been in a fighter jet, right? Or any type of plane like that in general. You don't know, like, what you're gonna see up there. Like, it could be a UFO. I mean, that's why they're called UFOs. Like, a UFO doesn't innate that it's a spaceship or an alien thing. It could be anything. But I do think, like, what he's telling is the truth, because I'm sure, like, you see a lot of shit up in the sky from weird ass animals or flocks or something, you know, like, you're going fast. It's a precaution kind of deal, you know. So I feel like that's accurate.
And then the issue becomes, so, like, we've seen the video, like, or if you haven't seen, just go Google, YouTube. They're readily available. It's infrared. You see a black, like, sphere and a black, like, pill-shaped thing that just stands stationary and then shoots off some.
Yep. Yeah. And that's weird. That's also weird. But he has footage to, like, prove his claims too. Like, he's like, yeah, this is what I saw, and here's the proof. Here's my receipt. Now,
like, I'm saying this with obviously the understanding that these are if they are actually here, they are super intelligent beings who, again, have broken the light speed equation, something that we can't even get a percent of.
Hold on, pause. We're not very smart species.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that should put, like, people like, oh, we're smart. Look at it compared to everything else around us. that should give you people an idea of how intelligent these beings would have to be to get to our universe, our solar system, and to get to Earth. They have to travel faster than the light of speed to do it in the relative time.
Never say like that again, please.
Why was it weird? Or
yeah, you don't say light of speed ever again.
sorry,
Speed of light.
Speed of light.
That was so weird, man. I would be rude with you. Sorry for the interruption. Please continue.
No, they would have to be able to travel at the speed of light to get here within even for guessing their lifespan is 1,000 years. They will still have to travel at depending on how far they're going, a very fast pace of speed of light to get to us in a lifespan. So they would have to be incredibly intelligent. You are messing me up.
I was messing you up, dog. You said it first. What do you mean? God damn! If an alien listened to this, they're laughing at you right now.
But my original point was, if it happens so often on these fighter pilots' schedules, why hasn't it happened more on the millions of flights that happen a year, domestically or internationally, through these corporations that fly jumbo jets?
That's a really good question, and I'm sure that someone out there with a knowledge of how high planes can go compared to commercial planes could go compared to military jets. But yeah, I feel like that's a fair question for the ignorant, and maybe even the smart ones. I don't know. I'm not smart. I'm not.
I'm assuming, because I remember 15,000 feet seems around where a plane would be flying. I could be wrong. I could be completely off. They might be higher. They might be lower. I don't know. I probably should have done a little more research.
Yeah, dude. You know what? Luckily for you, how high up are they? You said they were 1,500?
15,000.
15,000? Yeah, the maximum height of a commercial airplane is allowed to reach when they fly is 42,000 feet.
Like 4,200 or 42,000?
42,000.
Okay. So yeah, maybe it was lower than where they were flying. Maybe that's what it is.
But sorry. The highest possible altitude for a military unit is not publicly shared, but most fighter jets fly at an altitude between 45 and 51. Mm-hmm. So they are higher than commercial airplane.
Okay. So maybe because he said he was I don't have the exact quote, but he said he was at an altitude of 15,000 feet, and the object ascended up to him, or the object maybe was at 15,000 feet and ascended up to him as he was flying and watching it. But it seems weird that only the military is seeing these things if they're so active.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's another. Yeah, sorry.
No, I was just saying, there's arguments. You're good.
Mm-hmm. AOC, like I said, was there. Democrat from New York. She asked, if you were me, where would you look for answers? And then
Google.
David Grusch said, I'll be happy to give you that in a closed environment. That was a lot of his answers to, because obviously he can't share certain things still. So he said that he can do it in a closed environment, which is a SPIF, where no electronics can break in, no airwaves, anything like that doesn't work in there. And then one of the naval officers, the pilot, said, if you know where to look and who to talk to, then you have them.
Yeah, like Google. Or the three individuals in front of them right there, right now. Right. Probably would be the thing to say, but...
Yeah, it was a really, David Grusch's answer makes sense. I'll tell you in a closed environment. Obviously, I'm not going to say, go look here, because then everybody in the world who's an alien nut is going to go there. And that just creates a bunch of, unnecessary issues. But the second answer was a little weird to me. It seemed like he was joking and trying to play a game. He conspiracy.
Yeah, sir.
Rep Nancy Mace, a Republican from South Carolina, asked what percentage of UAP sightings, in your belief, go unreported by our pilots. The pilot, Ryan Graves, said he would estimate somewhere around near 5% reporting. So they report. So if they reported 100 of them, there's an extra 5 out there floating around that they didn't report. Is essentially what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. That's 5% of 100. That is correct.
So like it goes back to, they said they've seen it so many times that they're just not reporting it. It's still a wild thing to me.
Yeah, I think like it's a hassle to, if you get told the same thing every time you report it, that like, you know, it's not worth it at the end unless something weird happens that's like unique, like they flip you off or you like physically see a creature within it, you know?
Yeah. And that brings me to the next question that someone asked probably around the same time. Rep Raskin, a Democrat from Maryland.
Well, what a name.
Mm-hmm. Good guy. Questioned the Ryan Graves about another pilot's encounter that was only 50 feet away. And Graves said he was in the ready room with his mouth open, and I asked him what was the problem was, and he said he almost hit one of those darn things. Now, in that answer goes to what I think is the actual UAPs we're seeing, which are man-made drones, like spy drones.
Yeah,
is what I think they are, and I think this is just, and this is a conspiracy. Obviously, I think they are just new advanced technology spy drones that we are passing off as alien technology to try to like not acknowledge that we have this technology.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's also very good theory, honestly. I feel like they would know for the most part, but like that answer, the way it's presented, like almost hit one of those darn things as like it's a nuisance to the pilots because they know they're up there and they always get in the way during like training sessions.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you have to fly in special grounds for training, so they probably also toss up some of those drones in those same areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, did they ask Will Smith what he saw when he did the fighter? Like, why is he not up there?
True.
They did a whole documentary about him in, like, the early 2000s, or was it the late 90s?
Late 90s, I believe. After the hearing, it'll only be like 2 more.
No problem.
After the hearing, Rep. Paulina Luna, Republican from Florida, said she believes there is other life out there. Mm-hmm. She also believes that it is possible that the U.S. government is back engineering potentially technology that is not from this world.
Mm-hmm. Reverse engineering.
Yeah, which is possible.
Yeah.
Like you said, like if aliens have been here, what?
Is it possible? Like, okay. Like, hear me out. Like, you can reverse engineer things, and like just in general, like people do. All the times they reverse engineer stupid stuff that we already have technology for and have had technology for like 100 years, right? Mm-hmm. But like, if it's physically something like alien wise, right? Think about it. And they're using materials that we don't have. How do you do tests to see and reverse engineer it without like if you have such a limited supply? It's not like they fucking dropped a supply ship of like 50 boxes for us to play with, right? Yeah. All the exact same. No. If we picked up some wreck, we have a very limited supply to test. So how, like, they're obviously probably like they could be using materials that we use like silver, copper, gold, blah blah blah, right? Because that's found in space. But like, how are you supposed to reverse engineer something that we literally physically do not have, like, the ability to test?
Yeah.
Like, let's say, like, okay, let's see how this reacts to metal or reacts to fire, because that's just the first thing that comes to my mind when you want to test something. Like, what's the melting point of this metal? So maybe we can see what's the similar. So you take a piece of metal, but you can only do that so much.
Yeah, you can only take so many shavings and chunks
Before you completely wreck it, and then you just lose the ability to figure out what it does. And that's the second thing. Like, if you don't know what it does, what the hell are you reverse engineering? Like, you're just building, you're like, oh, look at this scrap of metal. I'm sure it does something. There's a button on the side. And then you're just making another scrap of metal
with a button on the side.
With a button on the side, because you don't know what it originally did, because it's just probably not working, right? Or we don't know how to work it. Like, what if for them, you don't hit the button? Like, what if the button just shuts it off and like never turns it back on? It's like a fail-safe thing.
No, that's I guess I never thought of it that way, and that is a very good point. Like, how can you, like, you can, like you said, you can reverse engineer a TV because you know what a TV does, how it works, and you have multiple of them, you see multiple of them. But with a alien aircraft, if you have one that is no longer functional, and without someone having some kind of notes on how it was built in the first place, there's zero chance of knowing how to get it to work. So that makes sense. Like, your point of view makes a lot more sense than us reverse engineering something that we have no clue how it works or what it is, or it's, or like, we could say, oh, this looks like iron, but that doesn't mean it's iron.
Yeah. It's just weird. It's just like I said, it's not like you've seen those cartoons and stuff where the shipment trucks are driving and they tip over and they all spill out, right? It's not like that. They didn't have a alien shipment truck full of gear for us to play with. Like,
yeah,
make sense.
And then the final argument on man-made versus alien-made, Rep. Tim Burchett of Tennessee asked, how do you know these UAPs were not our aircraft? And Ryan Greta said these objects were staying completely stationary in Category 4 hurricane winds. These same objects would then accelerate to supersonic speeds.
Okay. Scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's also fair if you have proof of that. It's
right. Like, my question: how are you? Like, were they doing long range, like from the ship watching? Because you ain't flying in hurricane winds.
Yeah. It's
no. The final quote I'll go with to end this episode is from a dude on Twitter who reports on a bunch of stuff. I just thought it was funny. He says, after yesterday's hearing about aliens, one of the top questions was if intelligent life was able to travel from light years away to get here and float in our sky, why would they be so careless as to allow us to clearly spot them with fighter jets? The answer is simple. They looked at Congress and thought none of us could hear or see based on the age makeup of the Senate and the House.
Yeah, but like, these motherfuckers got into Wi-Fi range, Googled the U.S. Senate, and was like, oh yeah, every human's too old to hear or see this. What?
Yeah, it was just a joke on how old our representatives are.
Well, they are old as fuck. Homie had a goddamn seizure standing up yesterday. Rest in peace. I don't know if he died, but
no,
he'd probably get off the Senate.
100% on both sides.
Especially that one. But
yeah, so yeah, aliens, man.
Yeah, dude.
If you believe everything he says, he gave us the answer to, do aliens exist? According to him and the people he interviewed who are still working in that section of the government, we have alien biologicals.
He cannot confirm nor deny it. However, he highly suggests and implies it.
And to be fair, most forms of government that oversee that, the Pentagon and things like that, deny it wholeheartedly and say it is not true. So Believe who you want.
High key. This is the safest thing this man could ever do, honestly, right? Is like, I'm gonna go in front of the government in court and become a whistleblower and like show my face and my name and stuff. That way, if I die, everyone believes me and I'm a hero. And if I don't die, then I win. Like, it's a win-win either way.
Yeah.
Because if this man dies just randomly, like, oh, he committed suicide, like, did he? That's weird. That's suspicious. Got in a car wreck. That's suspicious. Like, it could be a natural death. It's weird.
Yeah, any death that happens to him now is going to be suspicious.
Hey, what is the leeway for that? What is the leeway? Is it like a year? Is it a year, 2 years?
I guess as long as he's not in the public, like, if he disappears from the public eye and like doesn't keep bringing it up, then like a year. But if he, like, as long as he keeps bringing it up, any death he has is going to be suspicious.
Yeah. I would tweet out like literally once a month, be like, he's still alive, alien's still real.
Don't be suspicious.
I don't know, on some real stuff, I'll just schedule tweets.
Next like 10 years.
Yeah. It's like, if you don't get a tweet from me scheduled this month, that means I'm dead. And they're trying to cover it up. Don't be fooled. Wake up, sheeple.
You heard him. Wake up. So set time, Alec.
Yeah.
Give the people what they've been missing.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everyone that makes a mean zucchini bread. I want zucchini bread so bad that I'm willing to do the worst kind of things for some zucchini bread, please. But yeah, if you can make zucchini bread, shout out to you, man. With chocolate chips.
Yeah, I agree. The zucchini bread sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm. I really mean anything.
You can find us on Podbean, on Spotify, on Apple, on all the podcast sites. We have a YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have a WordPress, hypotheticallysound.wordpress.com, where we do some behind the scenes stuff. We blog, post art. We have a sticker shop, freeallocate.bigcartel.com. Some amazing stickers. We do the whole, you guys know how the drill goes. Until next time, aliens are real. They're coming for you.
Maybe.
Run, hide.
Probably.
See you next time.
Potentially.
Bye.
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 Anything.
I get the last word. Bye.
Anything. I'll suck toes. I don't care.
Thank you for listening to Hypothetically Sound. We hope you enjoyed the episode. All episodes can be found at hypotheticallysound.podbean.com, as well as on Apple, Spotify, and Pandora. For full unedited video versions of the podcast, please visit us at youtube.com/hypotheticallysound.